Not all parents love their children. Some parents thrive on control and pain, leaving their children questioning what's real and what's normal. There are parents who take joy in their children's suffering, who manipulate, neglect, and harm them for their own twisted satisfaction. Today, we're diving into the hidden reality of emotional neglect to help you recognize the truth and find clarity. If you've ever felt unseen, unloved, or confused about your experiences, you're not alone. All right. Hopefully, I am still connected to everything. I am attempting my very first live through both YouTube and Twitch. So, so far, I'd say it's going well, thankfully. Welcome to the Serafina Day channel. Welcome all. Okay, just waiting for the system to reconnect me. It says I'm connected, telling me to retry. So we'll see what happens. But I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to be doing this. I've been wanting to do this, to come online and talk about narcissistic abuse, specifically parental narcissistic abuse, for I'd say years. So I was so excited to recently learn about VTubing so that I could really feel comfortable in taking this opportunity to speak out. Well, you might be a little curious about me, so let's get into it. This is the Serafina Day channel on YouTube and on Twitch. Again, thank you so much for joining. There we go. There's my presentation. So, oh, now I'm looking from a slideshow. There we go. So I'm a VTuber. I'm here to talk about emotional neglect today, especially when it comes to, or specifically when it comes to parents, our parents. If you're like me, you grew up with at least one parent who, not a parent that was just lazy. I'm not talking about anyone who's just lazy or anyone who's just, a little emotional at times. I'm talking about the parents who feed off of your energy when they are basically causing hell in your life, wreaking havoc in your home and in your life. We're going to talk about, we might get into some of the effects of that as well. So again, welcome to my channel. This is the Serafina Day channel. I am very new to VTubing, so please bear with me. I am also new to Twitch. This is my first live stream on YouTube. So just bear with me, please. The narcissistic parent in my life was my mom. I didn't grow up with my father. It turns out he wasn't so great anyway, so that was probably for the best based on the information I have up until this point. But I just, like I said, I just wanted to come onto social media to speak out against parental narcissistic abuse because I've experienced it, because I've had so many negative effects from it, and I'm hoping to help others um, figure it out sooner, basically. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And I'm just realizing it's pretty small on my screen. So let me see if I can see my own table of contents. There we go. That's a little better. So we're going to start with an empowering affirmation. I don't know about you, but between going live on 2 platforms for the first time ever, and also speaking out, and also just existing, I could definitely calm myself down a little bit with a nice affirmation. So hopefully it will be of benefit to you too. So we'll do that soon. We'll also talk about the definition, go over the definition of emotional neglect so that we're all on the same page. We will, I'll share my story. So Stories in Connection is about me sharing probably just one of my stories. If you're like me, those who know, if you've grown up with a narcissistic parent, you have changed my face back to neutral. Sorry, I've been on sad face all this time. So let me bring that back. Oh no, where are my faces? One sec. I'm new to this. Bear with me. Yes, neutral face. That is more aligned with my voice. Bear with me. I'm new. Thank you. So I'm sure anyone who's grown up with a narcissistic parent for at least the first 10 years of their life has hundreds, if not thousands, of stories, not specifically about emotional neglect, but just stories of parentification, emotional neglect, other forms of, just other things that they've done. So I'll share at least one of my stories today. Now, I could talk to myself all day long. I'm hoping that someone on Twitch, someone on Twitter will come in and join the conversation. And I'm just realizing I really need to add the chat window. Okay, yes, we do have the chat window. Perfect. Okay, loveliness. So I'm hoping that someone will feel comfortable with sharing a little bit about their own stories. And of course, if you are watching this after the live, please feel free to put your story in the comment. I'd love to connect with you there in the comments on YouTube. And then, yes, of course, if you're already on YouTube or Twitch watching this live, please feel free to. I'm just noticing, is my watermark over my face, guys, on YouTube? I'm just seeing that. That's weird. Okay, so we'll figure that out. I wish I could kind of move myself over a little bit, but I can't. So, oops. I don't know why that's there over my face. So I don't know if that's actually in the live, but I see it here in the stream control. And I mean, at least it's the same face, so that's something. So if that is blocking me, apologies. We'll get that figured out for next time. So yeah, we've got many stories. Those who know. We've got many stories, but we're survivors, and we'll keep on surviving. And so I'll share at least one of my stories, and I'm hoping some brave soul will share part of theirs as well. And then also please stay tuned. You'll want to stay tuned because at the end of this live, I'm going to give you a little heads up on something that's coming your way. If you want it to, a helpful tool. So you'll definitely want to know more about that. So please stay tuned. So let's get into our empowering affirmation. First, what I like to do, because I've already done this several times, even just today, and it feels good every time. So I'm just starting with some stretching. You might see my avatar closing its eyes because my eyes are closed. I'm reaching up. I'm wiggling my fingers and my toes because I tend to sit too much in my chair. You might hear my chair creak throughout this live. It's just what it does. And I'm just sort of moving my shoulders, my head, moving my legs around a little bit as I sit in my chair. Just a little bit, just to feel a little better and ready to run or ready to, I don't know, something. So I find that just moving even just a little bit, just the slightest bit, even while still sitting in my chair, can make me feel better. So I'm feeling better already. And now let's do a deep breath. Feels good. And let's go ahead and read this affirmation together. Let's go ahead and start now. My feelings are valid and I honor them. Let those words sink in. I don't know why. For some reason, I automatically raise my hands I grew up in church, so I raise my hands as if I'm praying. I just realized I'm doing it now. So it is what it is. But it feels, I don't know about you, but I feel really nice. I feel better than I did a few minutes ago, especially with some technical difficulties at the beginning of this live that got me a little more keyed up than usual. So this is feeling good. All right. So now that we've done our affirmation, now it's time to get into the nitty gritty, the something that's horrible in life that needs to be discussed, that I believe needs to be called out even more than it already is, and something that many of us in the world need to be supported with, and that is emotional neglect. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this definition. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. Please feel free to read along. Child neglect is commonly defined as a failure by a child's caregiver to meet a child's physical, emotional, educational, or medical needs. Forms of child neglect include allowing the child to witness violence or severe abuse between parents or adults, ignoring, insulting, or threatening the child with violence, not providing the child with a safe environment and adult emotional support, and showing reckless disregard for the child's well-being. Okay, so that is the definition from Wikipedia of emotional neglect, and I think most of the things in this list, or the majority of the things in the same as most, I guess. I've seen most of these things in the list. I could not experience severe abuse between parents because I grew up with only my mom, so I couldn't see that, and she didn't have any like partners around to for me to witness that. But ignoring, insulting, not threatening with violence per se, but kind of maybe a little bit, just in her stature. There have been times when I um, felt physically threatened. I felt like she was gonna physically hurt me. Um, and actually, technically, there were times when she did, but we'll talk about that another day. And providing the child with a safe environment, no. Adult emotional support, absolutely not. So I see myself all over this. So please feel free to take a few moments, think about it. Um, have you ever felt like this? Let me get into this chat here. Let's see. Taking a look at the chat. I was hoping I could send a message, but it looks like I can't. I think maybe I'll be able to respond when someone messages, but I'm not sure. Like I said, still figuring things out, and that's okay. But I welcome any chat messages from anyone who might join. And I also welcome your comments on YouTube. If you're watching this, if you watch this after the fact, you're very welcome to comment and I will connect with you. Okay, so now that we've had some time to understand emotional neglect, let's move on to the next slide. Emotional neglect in my life. So many stories, so little time. I don't have time to share everything. So my mom ignored me. And quick story on that. I found out, sorry, let me just check something here. Why is that Prism Live Studio showing? Oh, that's the Twitch message. Okay, that's cool. That's my name on Twitch. At the moment, I'm going to change it. It's the Day. Anyways, so my mom throughout my life, she ignored me. Just take a sip of my water. And when I say ignored me, I mean I'd be right in front of her talking to her, and she would not acknowledge my presence. She would just completely ignore me. And you're gonna hear me giggle because that's just how I deal with it. It's not funny. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. It is extremely abusive. But I chuckle because that's just my thing. So please don't be offended by that or take it as me thinking that this is nothing. It's very serious, and I know that, and that's why I'm speaking out against it. It's just how I deal. So it was actually mm, not 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago. I was already an adult at that time, and she just admitted to me that she that ignoring me was fun. Like she just came out and admitted it, and I think she had just done it. So I'm an adult. She's at my apartment. She had come over for a visit, um, and I was there. Hey mom, hey mom. So hey mom, mom, standing right behind her. She was sitting at my computer in my room on my computer, sitting at my computer, and I'm standing behind her talking to her in my apartment, and she was ignoring me. But thankfully, I was an adult, grown up, so therefore not taking it as maybe as seriously as I would have if I were a kid. And there's not like there was anything like really pressing happening. I think I just had something on my mind and I wanted to chat with her about it. So my guess, because I'm not a mind reader, um, so my guess is that I wasn't as upset about it as she would have liked, or I can't remember. Maybe I wasn't upset at all, but I'm sure it wasn't serious for me. So that's when she admitted that it was fun for her, and I believe she only admitted it not because she's just simply a truth teller, because she's somewhat of a pathological liar as far as I can tell. But when she admitted it, to, I believe she wanted me to be really upset and possibly for me to think back on other things that happened in the past when she had ignored me or when she had acted like they weren't a big deal. When I really needed her support, when I was having a problem and I really needed her, both emotionally, I needed her to like physically like take me somewhere, like like help me. Like there's literally a time when she could have taken me to the hospital, and she just ignored me, just completely ignored me. So she was probably hoping that I would be livid and act out because she just feeds on that. She's just like you might have heard this term before, an energy vampire. And by the way, speaking of terminology, you might hear me say the word narc. So for those of you that are new to this type of terminology, narc is just short for narcissist. So sometimes I might say narc mom, for example. So yeah, she ignored me. She admitted it when I was an adult. I'm gonna turn on my fan. Hopefully it won't be too loud, but I am hot. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll turn on my air conditioner one sec. Okay. Now that we're cooling down, let's see. Also on my list here, didn't meet my medical needs. This is tea, y'all. This is tea. My life tea. Um, so there was something serious happening in my body that was caused by her. It was caused by something that she said to me that changed me forever. Essentially, just to, um, yeah, it's just, it's just what happened. And basically, she caused the medical issue in me as an 8-year-old kid, and then didn't help me with it. And then on top of that, she like attempted to help. I'd say maybe a month, maybe two. It wasn't that long. And then when it wasn't resolved because it was a deeper issue that was caused by emotional abuse, um, she then decided to bond with me over this medical problem that she was not helping me with. And it was like a devastating problem. This started when I was a kid, when I was 8 years old, and growing up, it got worse and worse as a teenager. I didn't feel comfortable hanging out with the people around me, with the youth around me, and boy, it just caused so many problems in my life. And it was, again, number one, because of something that she essentially did to me. And number two was something that she, in turn, did not help me with. So that is, I'm not going to get into that story today, but yeah, didn't meet my medical needs for sure. Absolutely no personal, emotional support. Um, if you've heard of parentification, I'm not going to get into that today, but if you've heard of that, then you'll know that it's where the parent wants you to support them and be the parent to them. So again, I'm not going to like go down that road, but I was that for her, and she was not that for me. And then reckless disregard for my well-being. There's one story that full story that I will share. There was a family um, that lived in the apartment next to us. We were living in a building at the time. I was somewhere between 8 and 11. I'd say I was probably, I don't think I was 12 yet. I think I was still really young. And the family next door was a husband, a wife, two daughters, and a son. And then there was just me and my mom. And so I got to know the younger daughter, who was, I believe she was a teenager at that time. I'm not sure exactly how old, but she was at least a few years older than me. And then the son was either my age, maybe a little younger. But he and I would play together, and I knew the younger daughter. I didn't know the older daughter because she was like, if she wasn't an adult yet, she was like in her late teens. So we wouldn't have hung out at all. And I just remember being outside of the building, playing around. I don't think I was even talking to her. And knowing me as a young kid, as a human, like ever in my life, if I'm around someone, I'm not telling them off or putting them down or anything like that. It's just not what I do. So I remember doing nothing much at all, and then all of a sudden, whack! She just slapped me across the face. And so I immediately cry, hold my face, run away. And I can't remember how her parents found out. I don't think her parents were around. I'm not sure if I went and like told on her, which I could see myself doing. I might have done that. Might have gone and knocked on their door and told the mom, or maybe the son was around, and maybe he told the parents. I can't remember how it happened, but I just remember the daughter and the mother came to our door. So my mom and I are standing at the door, and she and her mom are standing at our door because they've come knocked on our door. And she gave an apology, probably half-hearted. And I start crying because I was still traumatized from being slapped across the face for absolutely no reason. Um, and I said, "Why did you slap me?" And she didn't give me an answer. And my mom didn't require her to give an answer. Because my mom was, I didn't know this at the time, but I'm sure she was loving the fact that I'm crying because she just loved seeing me upset. I didn't recognize that till way later in life. She really enjoyed seeing me upset. She didn't require the daughter to explain. She didn't say anything in front of me, at least, to say this is unacceptable. Um, and when I think about what I would do if I were my own mother in that moment, if there was 8 year old me and then me now as the mother, I would be saying something like, you're going to need to give us an official apology. I would be threatening to go to the police. I would be having a real talking to that mother, and telling her what I expect to hear that she has done with her daughter in terms of having a good conversation with her, maybe demanding like a written apology, something like that. Like I would really be, I mean, I would really be pressuring that mother to do something or possibly threatening to call the police because I believe she was a teenager and teenagers can't just go around slapping kids. That's not a thing. So I did not see any action on my mom's part. As far as I can remember, she stood there silently, like she had nothing to say. And so, but this is me trying to remember, and unfortunately, my memories are quite foggy because of um, partially because of medical issues that started around that time, and also because of brain fog. Just I grew up with extreme brain fog that thankfully has lessened in recent years, but it was really, really thick back then to the point where I couldn't remember things from one moment to the next. It was really bad. If you dissed me one day, we'd probably be fine the next day, and I think some people took advantage of that. So I have gone through my list. Like I said, so many stories, so little time, not enough time to share it here. So let's keep going. And your turn. I don't know if anyone's viewing this. I'm still trying to get a feel for who is where, and I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube. I think I see a viewer on YouTube. I'm not sure if that's accurate. If that is, welcome. If you're actually here, welcome to whoever has come or gone. Oh, I think I see something. Let me see. I see a chat message. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so Cosmo Comet. Thank you so much. Cosmo Comet says, "Oh, am I able to? Hmm. Am I able to? Would have loved to put your comment on the screen. Let me see if I can do it this way. Thank you so much for commenting. Can I? Okay, when I click on it, it doesn't do anything, so I'm gonna leave it there. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, I can do steps. Sorry, Cosmo Comment. I'm literally figuring out. I'm literally trying to figure out how to do this. But thank you so much for commenting. Oh, channel activity. No, pin message. Oh, okay. I would have loved to have your message appear on the screen, but I don't know how to do that yet. So one day I shall figure that out. Yes. Thank you for your comment. Cosmo Comment says the story is heartbreaking. Why on earth would your mom not stand up for you? Thank you so much. I agree. Like now, as an adult looking back, I would have had that mother and I would have had a chat. We would have had it. She would have had it. She would have needed to make me some tea. She would have needed to give me some biscuits because it was not okay. It was absolutely not okay. But this is what I'm talking about. There are parents out there who would at least say something. They might not, they might try to stay really, really civil, but at least they would have like this desire in their heart to protect their child. I'm talking about the parents who do not care to protect you and who are literally the ones harming you, who are almost like scooping you out from the inside. It's the scooping you out from the inside. They're just removing they're removing things from you. They're removing abilities from you that they should be building up. They're like removing the ability to do things like stand up for yourself. I could have stood up for myself. There are kids out there, another kid in the situation, so many kids in the same situation would have done different things. You slap me in the face, I slap you back. I'm not saying anyone should do that, but I'm sure there are many kids out there who would have done that. There are kids who would have defended themselves physically, defended themselves verbally. I did not have the tools within me. It was just not within me in that moment. There were times in my life, there have been times in my life where I was able to say something when there was something happening to me that I didn't like. This was not one of those moments. And yes, I agree. It's not right. It's not right. But this is what some parents are doing. Some parents are wonderful. Some parents are lovely. And some parents are the opposite. And I grew up with the latter. I grew up with the opposite. The wrong side of the parent coin. So list. List. Did I say something about a list? I'm not sure. If you're referring to the sneak peek, then you'll have to wait for that. Sorry. Wait till the end. I think we're almost there. Um, yes, I'm on YouTube. Yes, thank you for being on YouTube. That's awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you like the avatar. I can't tell. Cosmo Comet is my watermark in front of my face on YouTube. Um, Cosmo Comet says, I'm sorry, I just stumbled upon your stream and my mind is absolutely blown away with how much clarity you are able to speak with. Thank you. Wow, thank you for that. This has been literally a 10-year journey, if not 11 or 12, because it was quite a while ago. It was at least a decade ago when I first realized, okay, my mom is a narcissist. And I tried and tried. Oh gosh, this is a whole story time in itself. But in my attempts to get help for myself and to get clarity, I've been able to just process things. And it for me, it just took so much time. I'm literally talking about at least 10 years where I guess I just needed that time. I would not have been able to talk like this about narcissism a few years ago for sure. No water. Oh, good. Thank you. No watermark on YouTube. There was a your turn picture next to your avatar. Yes, Cosmo Comet. You're the only one here. It's not to pressure you, but if you have anything you want to share, if you think that you've ever experienced emotional neglect, feel free to share. I'm going to give it another minute to see if anyone pops on and wants to say anything, and if not, no worries. But yeah, um, glad to have you here either way. All right. So, like I said, for anyone who is watching after the live is over, please feel free to put your story in the comments. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to. Oh, got something. Oh, Cosmo Comet says, I was in a relationship with a narcissist. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's the worst. So feel you. I empathize. I understand. Um, never a good thing. Never a good thing. No matter what, no matter what kind of a relationship we're in with a narcissist, there are some things that seem to be the same. They enjoy torturing. They enjoy torturing the people around them when they see they can get away with it. And also, every narcissist seems to bring their own unique spin on the torture, from the maybe somewhat mundane to the absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know how that works. I believe my understanding is that narcissism, like NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, is a mental health issue, and it's interesting how it presents itself the same way in certain aspects, but then it's almost like each narcissist brings their own creativity to the role as narcissist in our lives. It astounds me how from story to story people have different stories. A narcissist messed with their toys when they were a kid, like a parent did something wrong to their toys, or and then we've got people who are getting physically abused, and we've got just the stories have such a range. The experiences, I don't really want to say stories, the experiences, our experiences have such a range, and it really just comes down to, I guess, what resources are available to the narcissist, as well as what they can creatively think of to do to get that supply of energy from the person they're torturing. So, Cosmo Comment, thank you so much for commenting. I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is, oh, let me click in the right place. There we go. Okay, so, so this is a sneak peek. I've put together a list of 30 signs, 30 signs of potential signs of parental narcissistic abuse. Like I said at the beginning of this live, I really want people who are experiencing this now to understand what it is that's happening. And this is a list that might help you to realize the signs. There's a little disclaimer at the top that says that it's not the same for everybody. So it's something that you'll have to see and really think about it, really ponder, because it's not going to be the same. What you've heard from me today is not going to be the same for you. I can guarantee that you're going to have some completely different experiences, but also they'll still be somewhat the same because it will still be that lack of emotional support. You may or may not have had a parent that ignored you. Maybe your parent didn't ignore you, but they required a lot of your energy because they wanted you to take care of them. So there are things that will be the same, but aspects that will be very different. So this is just a sneak peek. This is just a coming soon. I want to, first of all, figure out how I can share this document once it's completely finished. And then also, I want to just know who's even interested in getting it. So please comment if you're on YouTube. Please comment, show me the signs. Comment, show me the signs on YouTube if you're interested in getting this, and I will let you know when it is available. Oh, and I see another comment from Cosmo Comet. Love that name. I was blamed for everything. Oh, no, first, it took me so long to see that he was a narcissist, though. Oh, way after we broke up. Then it all made sense when I figured it out. Yep. Oh my gosh. I understand that. I feel that so much because it took me so long. It took me so long to figure out what was going on with my mom. And it's funny because I was literally 8 years old when I looked at my mom one day, and I wasn't a bratty kid. I was, and I'm not bigging myself up. I really, because I was so already controlled. I was so controlled. I was like not a perfect child, but I was a very sweet, quiet, docile child. But as an 8-year old, I just looked up at my mom one day and said, "There's something wrong with you." I just knew there was something wrong. I don't know if it was all of the television I was watching, where I saw, maybe I got a glimpse into what loving parenting looked like. I know, television, things are so different. Things are perfect in TV world often, but I could see that there was something that wasn't right about how she was behaving. So 8 years old, I looked up at her and I said, "There's something wrong with you." I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just like, I don't understand. And as a kid, I just said it because it was on my mind. I just spoke what's on my mind, just like kids do. So I totally understand it taking a long time because it took me years and years and years and years and decades after that to finally figure out that, hey, mom's really not right. She's really not right. I should really get away from this. And Cosmo Comment also says, I was blamed for everything that went wrong, even when I wasn't involved. Oh my gosh. Hmm. That's still not right. It's not right. Hmm. I mean, everything a narcissist does is not right. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. Oh, Cosmo Comet says, show me the signs. Yes, I will show you the signs. Thank you, Cosmo Comet. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, they will blame us. They will blame us. If there's anyone, especially if there's someone snooping around saying, who did this? Why did this happen? They will definitely point the finger at you. If there's something that makes them look or feel like less than they want, they will not take that on. Absolutely not. They are the best. They are the greatest. No one can beat them. So therefore, nothing imperfect could have come from them. Yeah, yeah, they'll blame you. They'll blame you. Again, sorry that you went through that. Thank you so much for sharing. I will show you the signs. If you actually, Cosmo Comment, would please go ahead and put that comment on this live after the live is over, or I don't know, maybe you can comment now. Show me the signs. I will connect with you, and I will make sure you know when that document's ready. Thank you so much. All right, so that's coming soon, guys, and I hope that you've heard something, or heard something that you can connect with, heard something that maybe will get you thinking about why life with your parents, something maybe didn't seem right, didn't feel right. And again, if you are someone who got the good side of the parent coin and you didn't grow up in an abusive environment, I hope that this will teach you something so that you can possibly support family, maybe even or friends, maybe even family in the future who are going through this. Because after years of, or throughout the years where I was trying to find help, I was trying to share with people, I found that people had so little information, so little knowledge, to the point where people would just tell me that I was lying, or they would just tell me that, like, basically look at me like I was crazy. And I mean, even therapists, I was literally going to therapists, and they're like, "Oh no," they were actually telling me the opposite. In some cases, they would say, "Oh no, she just loves you." What? 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 That's not the case. Unfortunately, that's not the case with a narcissist. From what I understand, I don't think they are actually capable of love. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor, but I don't, it feels like it's not possible. And even if it was, the way that they give their love is not something that I want in my life. Um, Everyone has to make their own decisions. Some people decide to go no contact with their abuser, even if it's parents. Some people decide to go low contact. Some people stay there, might even stay in the home with that individual or those individuals, because unfortunately, some people live with more than one narcissist or have more than one narcissist featuring in their lives. And it's a decision that each individual has to make. You have to think about all the different factors. Do you rely on this person to survive? That's an important factor because you must survive. You deserve that. And it comes down to how abusive are they being. If there's physical abuse, that's a tough one. I'd say run. If it's emotional abuse, and I don't want to say just emotional abuse, but at least you're hopefully still going to be alive after experiencing it, as opposed to physical abuse, which could escalate and which I'm sure in the past has ended some lives. So each individual has to figure out what's best for them. I highly recommend finding a good therapist who believes you, because I believe you. Not every therapist is going to believe you. Believe me when I say I've tried to get the help. Um, so find that support, a therapist, a friend, maybe a family member that you can confide in. Um, find someone who can support you. I'm here. I'll be doing lives. We can connect in the comments. We can connect here on my lives. Find someone who can support you and make that decision. Make the best decision for you. Make the best decision that you can. Oh, Cosmo Comet also says, I can't wait to watch the stream from the beginning. Hitting so close to home. Thank you. So glad I stumbled upon you. When are you on next? Thank you so much, Cosmo Comet. I'm glad that you stumbled upon me too. I'm gonna be on, I think, hmm, maybe the next, maybe in 3 days. So today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wednesday. I'll be live again on Wednesday, a couple hours later than today. I'm going to put it on my channel. So if you subscribe, I believe you'll get that notification. So everyone, please subscribe. And let's go to the next page here. Thank you everyone for who's watching this in the future. And of course, Cosmo Comment, thank you so much for sharing and being so open here on the live. Oh, let me just make sure. Okay, good. I didn't want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else's comments. Okay, fantastic. So, guys, I'm on YouTube, so please like and subscribe here on YouTube. You'll get notified for my next live, which, like I said, will be on Wednesday. And if you're on Twitch, you can follow me there. And I will be try my best to be live in both places at the same time. Okay. Cosmo Comment says subscribe so fast just now. Thank you, Cosmo Comment. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Glad to connect with you. All right. So I've been talking. I could talk to myself for days and hours and years. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. But please connect with me, everyone. Connect with me in the comments, and let's really start a community. Let's start a community where we support each other, where we talk to one another, where we share our stories, and where we, help others realize that they are not alone. That was my biggest thing. I felt so alone. I felt so alone for so many years. And I don't want that for anyone else. So let's connect. Let's start this community. Let's get it going. Let's bring others in. Let's share about this community. Let's share our stories together. And let's become thrivers together. All right, guys, I am signing out now. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye bye.